This second LCD screen is everything that you can control for your styles. And so right here you can go to Style and basically choose different styles, and the same thing for the left. For your voices, you have for the style section. So there's different categories of different styles. So if I go to R&B, it'll take me to all the R&B styles. So 0, 85, and the first one is Gospel Shuffle. So let's see. So, you know, you got that. So you can change the tempo of that. Right here, you'll see the tempo, as well as the different parts of the song appear here, which you can actually turn off or turn back on. So I'll show you that. So you can have one part going, or both. Another cool thing that you could do is basically right here is the different parts of the song. So you can have a different variation of the same beat. So let me play that. So right now we're on variation C. Let's go to A. Variation D. So you have different variations of the same beat, so you can literally create different parts of a song like that. And then you even have intros and endings. So let's say we want to start the song with that variation of a beat. So we'll just start it and press intro. And it gave us that cool little intro. And then if you want to end the song on that same variation of beat, you can do the same. So that's nice. You can literally create like a whole song with a different variation of beats for you know, different parts of a song. So that's cool. You have a recording function on here, and with that you need a floppy drive. So right down here you have a floppy drive, and I don't know, maybe for most of you guys right about there this really dates the unit. But heck, I mean, you can still use the floppy drive function on this unit. Yamaha included a floppy drive full of songs from their library. So every time I press song here, it says I have to insert a floppy disk. You can get disc with different songs and insert it into the unit and then play along with the songs. Although I haven't really read it in the manual yet, but I think this unit has internal songs. I just haven't really come across it yet and haven't really been able to dive in and figure it out yet. But I believe on this unit you can still have, there is a couple of internal songs. But for recording purposes, insert the floppy disk in, record your song, you know, and when you're done recording the song, you could take it over to your good old 1990s computer, insert it into your computer hard drive, and have your song insert it into your DAW, and then heck, make a CD out of it. Basically, this was the 90s equivalent of inserting an SD card into the piano, recording it on the SD card, and putting the SD card back into your laptop. This was that 90s equivalent of it. Now, having the floppy drive, if you get this unit, it would kind of be useless unless you wanted to have a floppy disk full of songs that you could play through. You know, it could still be useful, but as far as the recording function, obviously there are better ways to do that than the floppy disk. But hey, I'm not going to discriminate if you use floppy disks. So do I. I use them too. But that's a cool function that you have on here. You also have MIDI. You have MIDI functions. And so, heck, if you didn't like the internal sounds on this unit, even though they're awesome, you know, you may think Korg is a bit more awesomer. So you can go out and get you a Korg TR rack here, rack unit sound module, or a Roland sound module hook it up to this keyboard and use the sounds off of that module, or any other MIDI device. If you wanted to record this computer the old-fashioned way via MIDI, you could run your MIDI unit in here and then run it to your computer. So, you know, any MIDI device will work on this unit. You could hook this unit up to a PA system. There's an auxiliary out, so you can literally hook this thing up to a direct box going to a mixing console. The only thing about that is these internal speakers will not be muted. So if you do that, just keep in mind that these internal speakers will not mute, so you'll just have to turn the volume down to, you know, wrestle with that. But in some cases that can be a good thing. So the sound guy has your sound and you have your sound. So just in case he doesn't put you in the monitor, you can still hear yourself, because these internal speakers will not cut off when the auxiliary out is in use. You have a foot switch out. You have a let's see, what am I missing? I got the MIDI. You have this other network out. Again, like I said before, where you could connect to the Yamaha network and with other Yamaha users. That's really it. You have a master EQ that lets you change the sound of the internal speakers. You have different DSPs where you can have reverb, you can have delays, different things like that. You have a vocal harmony section, which again splits the keyboard, so you can have multi-pads on that. It's awesome, guys. I'm telling you. It's a fully featured keyboard, and I love it to death. Great keyboard from Yamaha. Again, if I went over every single... This video is already 16 minutes. Like, Jesus. And I was trying to go as fast as I can. But if I went over every single feature this keyboard had to offer, it would take forever. Yamaha makes some pretty great, fully featured keyboards, and this has to be one of their best. I mean, today's models don't top what these models could do. Honestly, they don't. And they're not just geared towards one environment. This is geared for stage and studio. Now it seems like most of these model keyboards are just geared for those musicians at home. Well, you can take this thing literally anywhere. But it's the Yamaha PSR 740. The Porta Sound series, or the later incarnation of the Porta Sound series, released in 1999 by Yamaha. It's a great little keyboard. Check it out for yourself.